don't wake up to your phone. It's as simple as that. Don't wake up to your phone. Don't make the first thing you see in the morning news, negativity, notifications, and noise.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Jay Shetty is right here.
It's so good to be back. Thanks for having me.
You know, Jay, I read your Live Like a Monk, Think Like a Monk.
Think Like a Monk.
Think Like a Monk. That was, what, 2020?
That's right. That's when it came out.
Okay. But and I've heard you on all your podcasts. I've seen you all over TV. You wake me up with meditation. But still, when I look into your eyes, I feel like I'm swimming in pools of ecstasy.
Is that a good thing?
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a physical thing, and I know that we should be talking about our hearts and our minds and our spirit. But is that like a shallow thing when people look into your eyes? I know you hear a lot of people.
You know what's really funny? I was talking about this with someone else the other day. I had a random aunt. I think everyone has a random aunt. I had a random aunt when I was young come up to me. I was overweight growing up. I struggled with being bullied and all the rest of it. And she came up to me and she goes, Jay, you know what? The only nice thing about you, physically she was talking about, is your eyes.
Oh, that's nice.
And she goes, yeah. And she goes, not even the shape of your eyes, just the color. And I'll never forget it. And I'll never forget it. It's just stayed with me for that long. So you can see how scarred I am by it. But yeah, it was just one of the
eye color. You're busted.
Yeah.
That's. Please tell me it was an Indian aunt.
It was an Indian aunt. Yes, I know. I was like, you know what I'm saying.
The last time I saw one, she looked at me and she was like, "My God, you've gotten a little fat."
Indian aunts.
I gotta love them.
It's just flat.
Wow.
I mean, just flustered as an Indian kid.
Yes.
I wouldn't have survived this long.
Absolutely.
We have many things to celebrate here, Jay. Jay's wildly popular podcast, On Purpose, which is over 5 years in running now, taking it on tour. Now, of course, millions and millions and tens of millions of people love to download this podcast, but taking it on the road, it's a podcast. Well, you can just sit in a room with a microphone. Why do you have to get on a plane and travel to all these cities to meet the people that love listening to you?
Yeah, what I'm really excited about is I think people right now are looking for connection. And the fact that you can come to one of these events, we're doing 15 shows, 15 surprise guests. You can look left and right and you're going to see someone who's like-minded. You're going to see someone else who tunes in every day, every week to listen to the podcast. You can walk out there with a new friend, maybe a new girlfriend, maybe a new partner, who knows? And I love the idea that people can actually come and be in a space where they feel safe, where they feel connected, where they feel they can reflect and everything else. I was looking at this. Have you ever heard of the third space theory?
No. Tell me.
So the third space theory says that basically around 25, 30 years ago, we had three spaces we spent time in. We had home, we had work, and then we had church or temple or a community center or somewhere that you went. And then as time went on, we lost that and it became home and work. And then after the pandemic, it became just home. So we eat where we're meant to sleep, we sleep where we're meant to eat, and we work where we're meant to sleep, right? All of our spaces are in one place. So we've lost spaces where we can reflect and connect. That was the purpose of church, a community center, a space where you had space away from home and work to think how to be better. And I think this is that space.
Love that.
So I feel like this event is going to provide that for people.
Wow. And I'm sure it's very much appreciated and needed. And even you acknowledge the people that you speak with day in and day out on your podcast, they love what you bring to them. The guests that you have. I mean, how much fun are you having compared to, let's say, when you were just doing Facebook videos? Or I've seen videos of Jay Shetty in a room of like 3 people speaking the same way he speaks now to an arena of 50,000 people.
Well, that was the joy of it. I mean, we were just talking about that, and it's been such an incredible journey. I remember going to events in rooms half the size of this and 0 people showing up. And I'd come back the next week. I'd practice my speech. I'd come back the next week. 0 people showed up. Wow. And then I realized I had to fire the person putting the flyers up because obviously this is pre-social media. And then the third time I came, maybe 2 people came, maybe 5 people came. I spent 10 years speaking to tiny rooms of people before I even made a video. And so today, the fact that there's millions of people listening, there's, tens of thousands of people coming to events, it's truly mind-boggling to me, and I live in gratitude because I can't believe it myself.
What was it that you think pushed that over the edge to get all the people to come?
It truly was the megaphone and the ease and accessibility of social media. When I was sitting in a room and speaking to small groups of people, maybe they'd tell their friends, and maybe you'd get 10 people the week after. The fact that I could upload a video and reach people all over the world is now we take it for granted. Now it seems like the most obvious thing. It's just when I started posting in 2016, I couldn't believe it. So to me, it just shows that today in a world where I remember being rejected by execs from having a mindfulness video series idea because they said I didn't have enough experience in media. I remember being told by other people in media that I shouldn't even try and get a job. I remember just being shut down by the traditional paths. And so to me, it's just a reminder to anyone out there who has a dream of being in media, hosting a show, whatever it may be, that it is possible and you don't have to go down the traditional route.
A great takeaway from where Jay was versus where Jay is now, where we are versus where we were then, confidence, being able to just be at ease with people, listening to people is a very important thing. We've all learned this over the years, as you have. And now, what do you find in this day, in 2025, what's the number one thing people want to take away from their time with you? And how do you recognize that through them, and how do you deliver that?
There's two things that constantly come up. One is, am I ahead? Am I behind? The timelines of life. Should I be married by now? Should I have it all figured out? Should I know what my purpose is? Should I know what my career is? I think we all obsess over these checklists and boxes that we thought we were meant to live by, and everyone's not living up to the timeline that their parent or society put in front of them.
That's a heavy question to ask
It
and
is.
need to be answered.
I like to remind people that there is no timeline. There is no deadline. There are so many people who found what they loved at 50 or 60. There are so many people who found it at 20. Some people found the person they loved at 20, but didn't find their purpose till 60. Someone found their ideal career at 30, but didn't have children till 45. And there wasn't a right or wrong way of doing it. It was simply your time. And I think when we live in a world that we constantly think I'm behind, then, by the way, when you're ahead, you're thinking, how long will it last? And so you're constantly strapped for time, whichever way you look at it. And so I like to remind people that their life is going at the pace and time that it's meant to.
What's more important, figuring out and identifying your purpose, or the journey to figure out and identify your purpose?
It's always about the pursuit, isn't it? It's always about the pursuit. There's a great, Nike published this book. And I don't know why they did it, but it's this orange book that I have, and I look at it every morning. And on the front cover, they have this slogan, which isn't just do it. The slogan is, there is no finish line. And I love that because it just takes away this pressure that we're all trying to reach the top of the mountain, the peak, this moment where everything becomes easy and everything becomes okay. And he goes, no, there is no finish line. Stop looking for that. The reason you think there is a finish line, or thinking there's a finish line, it's what causes stress because you feel far away from it. It's what causes pressure. It's what causes tension, is the belief that there is an end, a place that you reach where none of this exists. Whereas as soon as you accept that there is no finish line, you go, oh, this is it. I'm living in it right now. This moment is it. And if I can just live in it, then that's beautiful. That's what's needed.
So your life has evolved so much from the time that you were working with monks, studying under monks, I should say, to now you're flying across the world, private planes. Like, it is completely opposite of what it used to be.
Private planes? I'm still waiting for those.
Okay.
No,
then I made that part up in my head.
plane.
But you're traveling and you're huge. There's a huge focus on you now.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile those two things? And do you have to work harder now to find that same peace and stillness that you had before?
For sure. I mean, it's been 12 years since I left the monastery, and 12 years starts to feel like longer and longer and longer, especially because my life feels so different today. And there's two parts to this. One part is staying connected, and the other is embracing change. So embracing the change of, I am married, I do have a podcast, I do have a different life today, and a part of me has to move forward into that. And I think this is anyone who's grieving a former life, right? I was just talking to my friend yesterday who's had a baby that he loves and adores, but at the same time, he's like, there's parts I miss about, you know, what it looked like to just be married or be single. Like, you grieve a former life that you had, but you have to be okay with life is changing and moving. The other side is, I wouldn't be where I am without that. Every January, me and my wife go back to the monastery I lived in India, and we spend 10 days just reconnecting. As soon as I get back this week to LA, my monk teacher, who's going to be 75 this year, is going to come and live with us for a couple of weeks. And I can't wait to wake up every day in the morning early to meditate with him and to spend the evenings talking with him. So I try to find these ways of grounding. By the way, I'm reminded every day that I am less monk and less calm, and but that's the beauty of it. I think I've learned to relish the battle, in that when I'm on the battlefield, I'm reminded of my weaknesses and my flaws, which make me want to meditate more and find more calm. Whereas maybe if I was in a beautiful garden, I may think I'm enlightened, but that might actually be more dangerous. So there's a beauty in being reminded every day that I have an ego, that I have anxiety, that I have stress, that I compare myself to others, that I'm human, and that encourages me to take my practices more seriously.
We live in this world full of hate and awful news and discourse and war, and which is nothing new. It's been around since long before we were here. It'll be here long after we leave. Today, how are we coping with these things? What's the best surefire, push the button and you're going to be better way to maneuver through these obstacles that we see through life, but we also give ourselves because we become anxious over these days?
I think the challenge today is that you don't find your news finds you, right? You're just scrolling on TikTok and you'll see something. You don't even know the publication. You don't even know the journalist. You don't even know it's been vetted. You don't even know if it's true. You don't even know if it's AI or real. And all of a sudden you're assuming that it is true, that it's factual, that it's real. And even if it's not, you're consuming it as it is. So to me, the number one thing is don't wake up to your phone. It's as simple as that. Don't wake up to your phone. Don't make the first thing you see in the morning news, negativity, notifications, and noise. You would never let 100 people into your bedroom in the morning before you've showered, put your makeup on, brushed your teeth.
You don't know me.
Oh, well. Well, I can't help you then, Elvis.
Then what do we start our day with? As soon as it's time to wake up and get the train rolling, what does that first hour look like?
It doesn't even need to be an hour. I would say it literally needs to be 10 to 15 minutes of just waking up, walking like a normal person, like we used to do just a few years back, and brushing your teeth and looking in the mirror and then taking a shower like a normal person.
Wait, how many people are brushing their teeth with the phone like this?
Yeah, literally, we all do. We're all holding. Me too. We're holding the phone like this, and it's like, well, let's just not do that. Let's actually brush our teeth. And guess what? You'll probably have cleaner teeth and you'll have better teeth and all the rest of it. You'll shower better, right? Whatever it is, like just being present in that activity for 15 minutes, not even an hour, and just allowing yourself and your brain to catch up just as you would. You may let 100 people into your bedroom first thing in the morning.
Half that.
But but everyone else, like, you would never do that. You would never let 100 people come in and say, and your boss is emailing you. You would never let your boss walk into your bedroom and say, oh, by the way, I need that report first thing in the morning. You would never let your mom come in and say, why are you not married yet? You would never let, whatever it is. Like, you would never let someone just come into your bedroom and say, hey, these are the 3 things. You would never do that. You have a certain boundary. So if we have a physical boundary in our bedroom, why not have a mental boundary in the bedroom of your mind to say, I don't let notifications, negativity, news, and noise come into my mind first thing in the morning. 10 to 15 minutes, tops.
Okay, what about this? The day gets started. You get on the train. You get on the path to get crap done before 5 p.m. hits. What about those check-ins during the day? Mm-hmm. You can't just devote your entire life to something else and someone else all day. You do need to stop down and during the course of the day? One
of the things I love, which I put forward when I was teaching meditation and mindfulness at the company I used to work at, one of the things that we instated that really helped was at the start of every meeting, just have everyone take 3 breaths. Just start every meeting that way. And I encourage you all to do as well before every meeting.
Right now.
Just 3 breaths.
Okay.
He really does. I was going to say, he smells amazing.
You took 1 breath and you're sniffing our guest.
I was going to say it when he walked in, but I didn't think it was the right time.
You do smell
I love
good.
it. But
okay, take 3
the reason
breaths.
the reason why I'm saying it is most of us are running from our last meeting to our next meeting. We're carrying the baggage from our last meeting to our next meeting. Most of us are not even present in today's meeting because we're still thinking about the last one or thinking about the next one. That moment that everyone gets to align. If you think about it, everyone's coming in at different places and different paces. Someone's coming in and their kid's late to school. Someone else is coming in and they're thinking about the last meeting. Someone else is coming in, they're thinking about the weekend. when you all take 3 breaths in sync together, you're now aligned. When you're aligned, you now actually have the chance of actually helping, supporting, being collaborative, and everyone else not carrying that. So it's not the, oh my gosh, the 3 breaths. It's like, how do we get on the same page as quick as possible and give everyone space to decompress and disconnect from everything else before this?
We sure have been using that word calibrate and recalibrate a lot lately.
Yeah.
Calibration is an interesting thing. The first time I really thought about self-calibrating was not with attitude, but with my eyeballs. Okay, hear me out. I had to have surgery on one of my eyes, retina detached, whatever. And when I first opened my eyes after the surgery, I was seeing double everything. And my doctor looked at me and said, yeah, Elvis, you're cross-eyed right now, but in a moment in this hour, your eyes will recalibrate to where they need to be, and they'll be together again. And so I always thought, well, this recalibration concept, you can use that with anything in life, with friends, with the people you're dealing with at work, whatever. But you have to find the way to recalibrate. And it's something as simple as a breathing exercise.
Truly.
Or just some silence. See, we can't be silent on this show because alarms go off and a computer in the back starts playing a song. It's like silly. Dead air's deadly on this show. But to be able to stop down and have that right there, that moment of silence. See, we're all kind of recalibrating as you do it.
Absolutely.
I'm ready for a nap.
That's what happens when you slow down. Your body actually tells you what it needs.
Yes. So for you, let's say in minutes or hours, however long it is, how much time do you actually spend consuming media on your phone? Because that's your platform. You're putting things out, and I'm assuming you're getting feedback from people constantly, but that's also something that would bring a lot of stress. So how much time do you spend, and how do you balance?
So I try and spend time on my phone in my gaps. So right now, if I'm taking an Uber to another meeting or whatever, maybe that's when I'll check and I'll reply to comments or I'll be connected because I enjoy doing that. But I try not to be a consumer as much as I am creating or connecting. And I think for a lot of people, if you are consuming, make sure what you're consuming is actually helping you and making you feel better. And second of all, create times of the day that are no technology times and no technology zones. So in your home, literally imagine a laser around the dining table. Literally imagine a laser around the bedroom. Like those are zones where you don't take your phone. Like imagine you took your phone and your arm just got cut off because of this laser. Like, just imagine that for a second and allow yourself to say, well, this is a space that we're going to keep as a no technology zone. Like literally put that sign up that has the red cross against a picture of a phone, whatever it takes to realize maybe there are certain spaces in your home that are sacred. Maybe there are certain spaces that are meant for connection and love and talking to your kids or whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be a whole day. And so I think rather than trying to be like, I'm not going to look at my phone all day, which we're all going to fail at, let's say there's just a couple of times, 6 to 8 p.m. every day, I don't look at my phone. At the dining table, at the kitchen table, at the bedroom, I don't look at my phone. That simple act will save you from those hours of doom scrolling.
Well, you say that. I mean, you could say that your bedroom is your technology-free zone.
Yeah.
But there it is, that new digital vibrator. You know what I'm saying?
We need to make you a sign.
I don't know.
I said phones. I didn't say no to that. You can keep that.
It's nothing worse than you hear the phone ring and you answer the vibrator.
That always gets weird. Yeah.
They're always, if someone's talking to me. Look, we have to remind everyone that Jay's On Purpose podcast on tour is happening. We need to get people in those seats.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of them are gone, but we have a few left. Where do I go to find out where I can see you?
So go to jayshetty.me/tour. In New York, we're going to be...
that's a lot of words.
jayshetty.me/tour. It's simple. It's really simple. But we're going to be at the theater at MSG in New York. So please come along. If you're in LA, we'll be at the Greek Theater. And then, of course, we're at 15 cities across North America and Canada. So
now, hold on. What if I just do jayshetty.me and then I'll find the tour on there?
You will. But if you type in /tour, you'll get there one step quicker.
That's way too much information. You're laughing. Look, I have no brain cells. I'm speaking
You're brilliant. You're really good at this.
I'm speaking for the brain cellist population out there.
Before you go, I want to ask, who was your favorite guest? Can you pick?
Oh, that's do you know what? Oh my gosh, who was my favorite guest? I'll give my most recent favorite guest because it was such an amazing show. It was having Benny and Selena on at the same time. It was such a special episode because they just showed up in their rawest, most vulnerable, most honest. And what was really beautiful is the episode was all over TikTok and Instagram, but the conversation was all around positive masculinity. And the comments were hilarious. There was one comment that says, I'm just leaving this on loud so that my husband can hear what Benny has to say. And it was just beautiful to see people talking about the need for emotionally intelligent love. When usually when we're talking about love or, you know, whatever it may be today, there's always some sort of gossip or stress or whatever it may be. This was a beautifully evolved conversation going viral. So it was beautiful.
Wow.
Do you have a least favorite guest?
I'll tell you
It's
offline.
going to be us. Yes, come on, somehow.
That's where Gandhi always goes, to the menacing side.
Yeah.
I ask the questions that people want to know.
Jay, we love that you're here today.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you
so
so much.
grateful. You guys are the best.
Yeah, you know, it's easy and needed to hear these podcasts when you have your time alone with Jay, but also to be in the same room, to be in that space where you are rarely with Jay Shetty. What a gift. How many cities and
15 cities and 15 surprise guests too. So some of your favorites from the show, some exciting new ones. You'll get to see someone you love too.
Jay does have a private plane. It has United written on the side of it. On purpose, the live tour with Jay Shetty. Go to jayshetty.me and then search for the tour. Otherwise, they're not going. They get confused. It's a lot of letters.
I know. They won't sell me jayshetty.com, whoever has it.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah, who the hell's got jayshetty.com?
Yeah, no. Some guy called Jay Shetty, I guess.
All right, Jay, we love you. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you so much. You guys are the best.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.